All right, happy today, wherever you are in the world. Doesn't really matter what the name of the day is because it's always going to be today. It's about being here and being now and being present. Are you present? Well, living today is present. My oldest brother Jeff sent me a video today from back home in Chicago, where Lake Michigan, which is like 45 miles across, 250 miles long, is frozen, and the snow and how it just stopped the city. And here in Fahrenheit terms it's probably 85-90 degrees centigrade, about 32 degrees. I don't know if that's accurate or not, by the way. I'm just telling you from the way it feels. I don't even know if my conversion's correct, but what a contrast. And people wonder why I live here instead of there. But anyways, what I wanted to talk to you today about was something that I get asked a lot about. It's called a model that I've created, and the reason I do it as a model is because then it gets very easy to remember it. You can see it as an image in your head, and when you can do that, then you can retain the information and utilize that information into practice, and that's where real transformation happens. And in order to have the holistically successful life that you want, now holistically would mean in all areas of your life, right? Having the relationship of your dreams where you're happy and fulfilled and fun and laughter and passionate and all those things that you want. Being healthy and fit, which go together. I mean, what's the point of being healthy but you look bad? And what's the point of looking bad but you're sick? So it means healthy and fit. Also is, yes, the wealth and the financial thing. You know that the number one reason why people are stressed out is money issues, right? And stress is the number one killer on the planet. The most consumed drug on the planet are known as antidepressants. So as you can see, there's a lot of connection there. And no, I'm not the guy who talks about accumulating a lot of money or those kinds of things. It's creating real wealth. And by the way, when you have money, you can do whatever you want with it, including helping yourself, helping your family, and helping other people with it. But when you don't have it, there's levels of stress and anxiety and pressure that you have to deal with. I'm not saying that people with money don't have some of those things. I'm just talking about the everyday life of paying your rent and paying your mortgage, and kids need something for school and whatever, and having that stress you out. Or that, like for instance, if my son needs to stay home sick from school, I have that freedom and created a life in which I can do that with him, and it doesn't cost me, where now I have to try to make up for that time that I'm with him. Instead, I can be home with him peacefully, take care of him, spend quality time with him. Because, by the way, your kids spell love Time. They want your time. And so that's why, I give it to my son. I make sure that he has that time, and I see it on him. I see that fulfillment in him, and I see that he knows that he's loved and he's appreciated and all those things. So to be able to do that, and wealth, by the way, gives you that availability to have more time. So it's not just about working your life off to have more money, by the way. It's about, remember I said, the holistic life, where you have the wealth and the freedom and the time with your family and the love and the health and fitness. So it's about having it holistically. The one thing with wealth is that wealth gives you more choices, and choices gives you more freedom, right? Because you can, if you're going to go somewhere, you can choose to walk, bicycle, bus, cab, Uber, plane, first class, business class, economy class, private jet, cruise liner. I mean, remember, with wealth, you get more choices, and with more choices, you get more freedom. But today's video is not about wealth. I'm just talking about having the holistically successful life that you want. In order to get that, you got to be great at S.E.X. And it's not what you think. Some people got really excited. All right. Yeah, if you know me, there's always, but this is the model that I was talking about. So the S stands for strength. If you really want to be successful in this life, if you want to have a more fulfilled life, you want to be happier, you got to be strong. You got to have strength. Because when you have strength, you don't buy into the hallucination that the outside environment dictates how you think and feel. So what that means is that you're not getting pushed around by what's happening in the world, is that, you're strong. It's funny, when we're feeling good, when we're feeling happy, when we're on top of the world and something challenging happens, it doesn't really get to you that much now, does it? But man, when you're already in a weakened position, when you're already feeling down, man, even normal stuff that doesn't get to you is bothering you. And sometimes you blow up over it, right? So you got to be strong. So I told you, S.E.X, and it's not what you think. But this is the model. I think you'll be able to remember S.E.X, right? For some crazy reason. Then, so in order to get strong, you have to exercise, right? Now we're starting to see something there, right? You got to have strength, and then you got to exercise. That's how you get strong. Now, we have 4 main muscle groups that we're talking about that need to be exercised: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. All 4 of those muscle groups have to be exercised every day. Otherwise, they get weak, and it will always be the weak link of the chain that will give up the whole chain. So if you can think about that, is that you have this big, massive chain that's holding a ship to port, and one link breaks. Well, it doesn't matter. The whole chain is useless because it's not connected to the dock anymore. It will float away, right? So the weak link of the chain is going to give it up. So that's why we have to be strong in physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. So then we have to exercise those areas. So what's the exercises for physical? Well, that's pretty easy. Move your body, right? Motion creates emotion. So as you see, it starts to handle one of the other muscle groups that you're talking about, is because we feel better. If you lay around and sit around when you're sick, you wind up only feeling sicker. It's actually better to get up and take a walk, right? You don't have to do strenuous exercise at that point, but just getting out and doing some walk, you're pumping your lymph system out, you're getting some air, you're getting some sunshine, all of a sudden you notice you feel better. So move your body. So you can hit the gym, you can swim, you can dance, you can have sex. There's all kinds of things that happen, but you got to get your body moving. Also, I highly recommend water intake, right? Most people just don't drink enough water. And also eating regime, right? In that are very powerful, because if you have the most high performance vehicle or high performance jet or high performance anything like that, and you put crap fuel in it, well, it may not even run, let alone the performance of the run. Well, if you're going to keep putting garbage fuels into your body, it's just, there's no way that it's going to run at peak levels. That makes sense, right? So water intake's very big, because you got to remember is 85% of your brain is made out of water. 85% of your blood is made out of water. 75% of your brain is made out of water. So water, it's our natural state. We need it. By the way, we were born in water, right? So it's very important. But as you see, there's communication from the universe and nature in itself. We definitely need water, and good, wholesome, healthy water. So if you're at a place where the water's not very good to drink, then go find a way. In my house, we have a Kangen water machine, which is friends of mine are in a business that they're very proud of, and sell Kangen water machines. It purifies the water and adds more oxygen into the water, hydrogen into so it's much more healthy. And to me, that's a good investment. I'm not, by the way, here to sell you that. I'm just saying is at the level that I play the game. So exercise your body, move your body, water intake, food regime. That's physical. Mental. Well, your brain is a muscle. Wherever your head goes, your body follows. Right? So what are some of the exercises to be mentally strong? Because again, we need to be mentally strong, because otherwise we just not getting creative ideas. We don't take good actions. We start having negative thoughts, and we buy into stuff. Then we start becoming our own counsel. And by the way, that counsel is not good counsel, especially when we're feeling that way. So what's the muscles? Read. By the way, I know a great book. I would love to respond. Audio programs, Go to workshops. Educate yourself. I don't care if you're learning a foreign language. I don't care if you're learning about business. I don't care if you're learning about pottery or macrame or whatever that is. Science is showing that people who actively work with their minds have less chance of getting Alzheimer's or dementia, because if you're using it, you're not going to be losing it, right? Get yourself strong mentally, use it. But so many people after a certain age, and by the way, it's not even that old, stop really using their brain. They're in such a habitual life. They don't even think about where they want to go to eat today. They're at work and they go to the same place, same time, or if the same thing of the menu, they don't even change. Wear the same clothes, drive the same way to work, brush your teeth the same way, same hand. God forbid you change hands, you could poke your eyes out and kill yourself, right? So it's so habitual that you're not having any new original thought. So new original thought makes you strong. So that's what you want to learn, you want to grow. And by the way, it always feels good to learn new things. It's part of our nature. It's part of our, natural order of things. Life expressing itself. It's got to evolve, otherwise it will dissolve. So that's the exercises for mental. Next is emotional. Well, guess what? This is one of the most important. All of them are important. This is one of the most important because, well, we are emotional creatures. We're not rational creatures. I'll say it again. We're emotional creatures. We're not rational creatures. If we were rational, nobody would be in prison. Because most of the time, what you're in prison for wasn't rational at all. And if you thought you're going to do that, get life in prison or whatever, you wouldn't do that. You'd be going, no, that doesn't make any sense. But when we get caught up emotionally, so I'll give you an example. A number of years ago, I was in Kuwait coaching the top 5 executives, because Kuwaiti Petroleum has 5 companies that it's the umbrella company for, and the top bosses of each one of the 5 companies I was coaching. So I was going out to Kuwait quite a bit. And when I was over there near my hotel, my driver, I asked about this building I saw, and I go, what's over there? It's like a government building. He goes, oh no, that's where they do public beheadings. I go, well, they don't still do that, do they? Go, oh, he goes, oh yeah, they do. Matter of fact, people turn out for it. It's like a spectacle. I go, okay, that's a little weird. What do they chop people's heads off for? And he goes, pedophile, murder, and drug smuggling, right? So I said, drug smuggling? Well, there's probably no drugs here then. That's a good thing. He goes, nope, they're quite prevalent. You can get them anywhere you want. I said, why? He goes, oh, the money's good. I go, but how do you sleep at night thinking that one arrest and they're going to chop off your head? How could you ever deal with that? Well, as you see, the thought of the money and what the money can do for you and a life and the power and whatever you think it's going to give you, outweighs the rationale of getting your head cut off. So as you see, one's emotional, one's rational. So since we're emotional creatures, we got to be strong in that area. So what's the exercises for it? Well, first, hang out with positive, happy people instead of pissed off, angry, negative people. By the way, that could be your family, could be some of your friends, could be your partner, could be work colleagues. Now people go, well, how am I going to not deal with work? Well, have selective hearing. Only hear the stuff you need to hear. Don't hang out with those people. Don't open up conversations that you don't want answers to or conversations about, right? Don't ask questions you don't want answers to. Minimalize your exposure to those people. And then when you are not around those people, you got to go somewhere and recharge your batteries. I don't care if you have to go in a bathroom stall and do some yes, and get yourself back in state. But, that's your responsibility. So we may encounter those people, but limit it. Don't give it much energy, and then make sure that you recharge yourself. Also is do loving things for yourself. Focus on what's great about this. What am I grateful for today? All those things will make you emotionally strong when you focus on that. What's great about this? And by the way, you can do that about anything that happens in life. You can ask what's great about this, and if you ask it with the expectation that you'll get the answer, you'll get the answer, right? So that's emotionally strong. And then the last one is spiritual. Now, this is where people go, but I don't believe in Christ, or I'm not Buddhist, or whatever. Great. Well, this is not about religion. This is about spirituality, right? The Bible says if you do not know love, you do not know God, because God is love. Now, we all know that whether or not you see that as God, or certainly not as a guy in a robe, but you see that as, man, human beings have been driven to do more productive things through the power of love. The love of their family, the love of their children, the love of their country, the love of their cause. Man, it could make people superhuman. It is by far the most powerful force in the universe. I mean, being a father, there's levels that you can't allow yourself to go to when you have a parent. Like I used to live in my car in Los Angeles sometimes for over a year at a time. I could never do that having a child. So you always got to find a way. See, it holds you to a higher standard. So since love is such a driving force in us, what are the exercises for it? Well, number one, be kind to yourself. Quit criticizing yourself. Instead, acknowledge yourself for everything you're doing approximately right? So stop all the criticism and be loving to yourself. Quit being so hard on yourself. Instead, do your mirror work and tell yourself that you love yourself every day for 30 seconds in the morning and 30 seconds before you go to bed. Do nice things for yourself. Pat yourself on the back. Be appreciative of all that you do. Also, by the way, is when you're doing the physical exercises, it feels good. It's improving your body. It's improving your health. But that's self-love. When you mentally work on stuff and you make yourself strong and you don't get emotionally weak, that's wonderful for yourself. It's self-loving. When you're working on your emotions and you're hanging out with positive, happy, successful people and not with miserable, unhappy people. When you're in the gym, let's say, exercising, get your headphones on, you're listening to personal development, well, now you're doing physical, mental, and emotional, because remember, motion creates emotion, which is all loving to yourself, so now you're also doing self-love. Spiritual, right? So you can do all these same time. It doesn't have to be a big, drudgery to do. By the way, it shouldn't be, because if it is, then your brain's linking up discomfort, unhappiness, pain, suffering to doing this stuff, and it's not going to want to do it, but also it's going to backfire you on the results. And you go, see, this doesn't work for me. No, it's not about what you were doing, it's about how you were doing it, right? And how you weren't doing what you're supposed to be doing with it, right? So use the S.E.X model. Now people go, well, that was S and E, what's the X? Well, you've heard me say it before, it's not what you do that counts, it's how you do it. So X is for excitement, right? EXCITEMENT, excitement, right? Is Wallace D. Wattles, who wrote the book The Science of Getting Rich, said that getting rich is not the result of doing certain things, it's doing things in the certain way. That certain way that he was talking about was passion and enthusiasm. Anything that you've ever been great at in life, it's the stuff that you're passionate and enthusiastic about. So if you want to get great, get passionate and get enthusiastic. And by the way, when you're being loving and kind to yourself, when you're working on your mind, when you're exercising your body, when you're doing self-love and all this rest of the stuff, and you do it with excitement, man, are you turbocharging the system. And then it's easy to achieve. It's easy to attract things and people into your life, because people go, I don't even know what the hell you're selling, but I want to be around you. Now that's a subconscious thought, but guess what? We all like hanging out with positive, happy people, and we're not big fans of hanging out with pissed off, angry, negative people. And the more charged we are, and you don't have to be all rah-rah, it's really about your essence, right? So do the S.E.X model. Strength, exercise with excitement. Hope this is of value to you. Matter of fact, just saying to myself, I feel better. And until I talk with you again, which will be in the next video, have a most outstanding day. Talk to you soon. Bye.